Okay. I want to keep talking about worshiping together like Ellie did last week. Ellie started talking about worship. She talked about a lot of attitudes of the heart, she talked about the garment and the sacrifice. And she talked, obviously, from her experience being in musical worship a lot. Really good teaching. This is following in the flow of worshiping together. But her questions on screen, Simon, if you could just put her questions up from the end. I just want to put these up because they were just really good. And I don't know about you, but I haven't spent the last 7 days like fully meditating on them, answering them, practically applying them to my life. So I don't think we need a new set of profound questions. I'm just going to start back there again. Is God seated at the highest seat of your heart? What needs to be sacrificed to fully connect with God? And what do you need to take off to wear his garment of praise? So very good. You can listen to the podcast again, Ellie. I could sort of go, that's me done, you go away and ponder that for 7 days. But I have some thoughts that I'll bring, just in case. So thank you, Ellie, for bringing those. In a sense, I'm kind of going to ask similar questions. So I'm not going to give you another set. I'm just kind of, we're going to chat together about another set of questions that kind of flows in with those. So I want to keep talking about worship. And I am going to scroll down. I'm going to share about rituals and rhythms to keep us focused on Jesus, because under our worshiping together, which is one of our 5 togethers, that is what we've defined it as, rhythms to keep focused on Jesus. Of course, in musical worship, there is a literal rhythm and a togetherness in it, but it's much bigger as worship, as Ellie talked about last week. It's much bigger than just music, although music is an excellent way you can all do it together. I had an interesting picture in my mind when I was thinking about this, which probably just tells you where I'm at currently, but maybe it's helpful for you as well. Strangely, God showed me and Jesus sat on a couch in a marriage counsellor's office, just chatting about the state of our relationship. Because we were talking and thinking, he said the first thing he does is go, okay, Matt, what about you? What are your rituals? What are your rhythms? Essentially, how are you making time to connect with me? If you're my bride and I'm your husband, we're one flesh, one body, one spirit, one everything, then that's a marriage. I was like, I got that sinking feeling, which just tells you that I'm not probably confident in what I'm bringing to my side right now. But that's a seasonal thing. So first of all, just in the season you are in, whatever that looks like, let's just take a breath and take any guilt off, take anything out. I'm sure Jesus is not sat there in that office with me going, here's my list of things I have for you to improve. He's just wanting me to, come on, let's just keep connecting. It's fine, let's go again. It would go, I wrote down a little bit of my conversation. Here's how I thought it would go. So we go in and sit down on the couch, and I glance over at him wondering what he's going to say. And I know he's probably just going to remind me that all is forgiven, and he'll say something deeply encouraging, and he'll remind me how much he loves me, as he always does. So in the end, he's just listening while I'm telling him what's actually convicting me on the inside. It'd be something like, look, okay, life's just really busy at the moment, Jesus. I am tired most of the time. I make some time on Sundays. I do this and I do that. And that's we do have time together. We see each other every week. But I know then we're with my friends and it's not just me and you. And maybe I know I miss you too. I feel terrible about it. And I could go on. We're a bit ships in the night. That's just my season, right? It's just my season right now. I get that. And we need to come away from the guilt and shame or whatever it is of our season, because beyond seasons, you're only ever asked to bring what you have in the season you're in. And a couple of things prompted me about, just while I was here this morning, like Cain and Abel, we can't resent. What happens is, so is it Abel that's the good one? I'm pretty sure Cain's the bad one. But Cain resents Abel's offering. That's why he gets so, like, God is pleased with his offering. And it's almost like that in worship. In each season, we can kind of resent what other people are able to give at any season in their life, or what other people's worship looks like, or what it is that we even perceive, because we're never right anyway, are we, fully? Just what we think we see they're giving or able to do, or the season they're in. Oh, it must be so nice for so-and-so because they can, anyway, I could go on. But let's just accept where we're at, and that God accepts where we're at in our worship, in our rhythms, in the focus that we're able to do. But I'm sure it's just a good thing to come back to and revisit. Okay, let's just talk again about it, because seasons change so flipping quick. In this season, let's just look again at the rhythms I have and the rituals I have to keep connecting. Questions to start you off. You could write these down. I was going to split off and discuss, but maybe just keep them for you. Write these down. So questions to start. What rhythms have you got at the moment? That was another one. I'm skipping that one. Sorry, mate. What rhythms or rituals have you got at the moment? What are they for you? Obviously, Sundays, we've got our rhythms as a body, communal. Let's call those communal rhythms. There's like two halves of worship, isn't it? Worship that we do together, and worship, quality time rhythms, rituals individually. Our quality time with Jesus. That's what he was saying to me on the couch in the counseling session. He's like, look, okay, great. You have some great rhythms, Matt, like where we get together with your mates. It's like, man, I just want to see you with just your friends. Like, I want some one-on-one time. And that's why I come back to the marriage thing. So yeah, could they change in the present or coming season? And what is something you do physically, maybe already, that you can offer as worship? So we'll come back to that end one with the physicality, but these are just, if you want to write them down, we'll go through them. So I'm going to talk about briefly the communal side of things. So musical worship is fantastic, isn't it? God made your whole being, and I don't think there's any other time that so beautifully allows us all to be aligned in unity in the physical, like our bodies, our voices, our physical being, our hearts, our spirits, our minds. All that is like, what other thing facilitates that? It's pretty special, isn't it? Because we can focus sometimes on the sacrifice. Ellie talked last week about the sacrifice of worship. Brilliant point. And we sometimes know that we have to sacrifice the way we feel that morning, which is what I spend a lot of time sacrificing. God, I am not in the mood. Thank God he knows anyway. But that's what I focus on physically. But then there's a physical sacrifice involved as well, a physicality to your body and your mind and your spirit that kind of, I don't think God goes, I want that bit and that bit's not as important. I think he values all of the above, right? Romans 12:1 says this, therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy. I think Ellie might have shared this one last time anyway, good to go back to it. Offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Obviously everything comes out of your body because your brain's a part of it. But I don't know, there's just a bit of a shift in my perspective, I think. I was chatting to a friend the other day about this. I spend way too much time in my head. I spend almost all of my time in my head, and I'm not thinking about the physical. So basically what's happening is, please tell me if this is true for you, but my brain informs my body a lot of the time, right? But I'm pretty sure the way that the information works, my body is informing my brain. It's sensing that's literally what it's designed to do. Your body's designed, so maybe we can have some influence up that way as like, I'm going to do this with my body, and then it's going to tell my mind, it's going to realign my mind, not try and think my way into something different. It's a combination, it's complicated. We're flipping complicated beings, aren't we? But the physicality of worship is something I've been thinking about. So, we are embodied for a reason. It's good, isn't it, when I'm like, it's coming out now. I'm scrolling. I'm like, I just said that. That's good. Interesting. So we're talking back about the marriage analogy. What's the vow that you say? With my body, I honor you. Jesus said, this is my body broken for you, given to you. That's what he laid down in sacrifice. And he gave up his spirit. But he did it all. Is that mine? No, I don't have mine. Phone off silent ever. So let's keep looking at communal worship, time as a rhythm to focus on Jesus. And I've said that as already, I think. I've already skipped to this. But the music is a fantastic tool because it helps us to do that in unity. But just biblically, Colossians, Corinthians, everywhere, gather, sing spiritual songs, thankfulness, building up and admonishing as we sing, building up the body in Christ. So there's the individual sacrifice of worship, but you doing that together in the body builds up the body of Christ, which I don't think I ever thought about the fact that it's much more than my experience. I know that kind of, but like, imagine that if we understood the responsibility of offering our sacrifice of worship when we're together. My individual sacrifice contributes towards building up the whole body. It's pretty big. It's pretty cool. It's pretty spectacular. It's really important, and it can do things that we don't understand. God gave us music for a reason. We can engage with it. It engages every part of our being. So a side thought, I could probably count on two hands the amount of times in the last maybe 5 or 6 years where I've been able to, let's say on a Sunday, fully focus on Jesus during musical worship. Right? It's just the season I'm in. Half of you done that already. You know what it's like. I'm not the first person to have children. It's not like that. But also I've been on PA desk. And so I think that's a really helpful thought, is that PA desk is one of the ways you can sacrificially offer up your praise. You're focused on everybody else and facilitating their worship. I can't engage. If I get too carried away, you miss your words and stuff goes on screen. And I'm going to miss someone picking up the microphone. I have to be sensitive. I have to be watching. Even that, though, I can offer as a sacrifice, but just kind of do the ritual of it. And I still need to consciously then go, Jesus, this is my offering to you. I need to go back to do that consciously. Because rituals and rhythms are no good if they just keep us for the sake of it. They're not for the sake of it. They're so to facilitate intimacy, to facilitate focus on Jesus, right? So there are lots and lots of different ways to do that. Lots of different ways that we can all do that. And we only ever have to bring what we have, ever. Okay. My boy. So, where are we? There's a book that, guys, big news. 2 chapters I've read of a book. Just bring what you have. That's my 2 nights. I will not be finished in time for book club because that's tonight. It ain't going to happen. For me, that's good. That's like 2 chapters more than I've read of any other book for I don't know how long. Yeah, thanks, mate. Adam reads them in a second. Anchor just powers through them and stuff in the time. But I really enjoyed the 2 chapters I read. But really interestingly, it is about silence, prayer. There's so much of it about creating moments just for you and God. So this quality time, this time for your marriage, this time to just be together. Really cool. It's 1,000-year-old traditions, Christian traditions, by monks and all these writers and theologians and people that have done this and really literally spent their whole lives pondering it out. So what do I know? I'm just going to listen to them. But he starts very physically. So posture. And this is something that we can think about when we do have time together and when we do have time in worship as well. What is our actual physical posture? Again, your body can inform your brain and your spirit. I can sit slumped in a chair because I've got rid of the legalism. But then what do I choose to do to represent and what's going to help me engage in worship? Not because I have to do it, because it really helps me. Should I stand this morning? Should I raise my arms? Is that going to help me? Is that going to tell my body and everything about me that I am putting this thing up on the priority list? I am putting God first with everything. I'm going to offer everything as a sacrifice. And this guy who writes it, called Martin Laird, he talks about okay, this is how you should sit. You should just still your body first. Close your eyes, do whatever. He's not like, hey, do this like me. He's just saying these things you can take away and practice. There is a practice of worship. And he's like, tells you how to just stop all the intrusive thoughts or just let them be or whatever. And it's about, how do you sit? He's like, specific instructions, put your hands on your knees and chest up and arms back, or like literally the angle of your knees and stuff. And you can't get too caught up in that legally. But in the end, these guys have spent like hundreds of years going, actually, I'm going to practice the heck out of this to see what helps me connect to Jesus the most. What is the rhythm and the ritual that really helps me just get straight in there to get rid of all, like Nigel said, it's just removing barriers, man. And we are the biggest barriers to our connection to Jesus. I don't think it's anything external half the time. So for me, I'm very good at, let's say, turning up on a Sunday. And it helps that Wednesday I work for church so I can get to the prayer meeting on a Wednesday morning. Very good. Those are my rhythms. The Wednesday prayer for me is like the only time where I'm actually like still silent, focused on Jesus, and there's no interruptions, and I'm not absolutely shattered because it's just 10 in the morning. Very helpful. But I would really like to just get some more little rhythms of just me and him time. I think, hand on heart, I'm a little bit scared of it because some weeks I'm just getting through. And I just don't want to go there. And I'm like, is that where he's going to take me, is it? I don't know. Is he going to give me that knowing smile and the Matt, how are you? And I'm like, I just don't want that right now, Jesus. Maybe I could just do it anyway and he'd take me as I am. Probably would, wouldn't he? But I'm a little bit anxious about it. So that's okay if you are as well. But I really know I need it. So just accountability-wise, that's where I am. I know. Anka's been doing this meditation practice. So I've just watched her. She's going through some really big stuff. Like well done, Rich, for sharing what you've been going through the last, and for her, there's some foundational stuff. And I've watched how this practice that she's just started doing has absolutely held her somehow in weeks where I knew it would have just been very different had she not. She's been meditating 20 minutes. She gets up at like 5:30 to do it because that's just like the only time before the kids are all awake on a good day. And then she tries to do 20 minutes before she goes to sleep as well. We don't all have to do that. But she's just gone, in this season, that's my ritual. That's going to have to be my rhythm because I need to make this time. And if I don't, I'm going to get absolutely blown away. And I can just see what a beautiful thing that's done for her. It makes me want to go, king of, that's a good idea. I'm going to do this 100%. I'm going to change my entire life in like a week. Just start small, my gosh. So bad for that. So I just want to bring those last questions up for you because I think, and for me, I want to answer these questions. What rhythms or rituals have you got right now? Could they change in the present? Because lots of you have been around longer than I have. You've got really good rhythms and you've had them in lots of different seasons that I haven't even entered into yet. I know that. Some of you spend way more time praying than I do, but seasons just look different. So it's just a good question to keep coming back to. It's never bad to go and talk about the same thing a bunch of times because even that is a ritual and a rhythm. Coming back to focus, coming back to ask these questions again. So what rhythms or ritual have you got right now? Could they change in the present or the coming season? I didn't want to write should, but you know what I mean. Do you think that would be helpful to you? And this, again, your body. So this might be something that helps you understand that you are already doing so much that God sees as worship, but all you have to do is go, I'm going to give it as worship. Baking, running, hugging, whatever it is. You already do so much. But I'm going to give it to you as worship. My kids paint 1,000 pictures, but the one that they say is for me, this one's for you, Daddy. Absolutely love it. That goes on the fridge. I love all the others. I love everything they do. But there's something special when they tell me they did it for me. It's just super special. It absolutely melts me. So I would just encourage you to ask those. I'm going to ask those. I am asking those right now. And essentially, Ellie's questions as well, is God seated at the highest seat in your heart? is that expressed in the spiritual? Is it expressed in your thinking? But is it expressed in your physical? And what needs to be sacrificed? What are you offering up? Or what needs to be sacrificed as in, I'm going to give that up so that I can make the space for this? Because that's largely it, isn't it? Making the time to fully connect with God. So let's just ponder those this week. And I just want to pray for us before I finish. So let's do that. Pray with me, whatever. God, you are not sat on the couch next to us with a long list of things we've done wrong. You are so, so kind, always. It's your heart, it's me that feels all this guilt and this gap and whatever, what should. First of all, we just want to cut all that off because you dealt with every last little drop of it. And there is absolutely no barrier to our connection with you. You made sure of that. So first of all, I just want to say thank you for that. I just pray that we'll be able to relax in your presence when we make a little bit of time. Please just help us to think of some small little way. Thinking about you when we make a cup of tea, when we're eating, being thankful for it, whatever it is, we just want to spend a little more quality time with you in the chaos of life, as well as that then feeding into the celebration of that relationship we grow when we are together. It's a beautiful combo. I just thank you for where you're taking us and what you're showing us. In the end, it's just about time with you. That's all we want and all we need, Lord, together and individually. So I just want to thank you for our family. I want to thank you for where you're taking us. I want to thank you for the vision that we've got to dig into these things. But please just show us, Holy Spirit, one small thing for this week.